Welcome to this quick demo of a Zero Trust data warehouse featuring Snowflake and XQ Message. Now, the first question you might ask is, what exactly is a Zero Trust data warehouse? And then the second one is, do I really need one? Well, a Zero Trust data warehouse is when we run a software package that allows us to implement Zero Trust data, which is a new security architecture created by the Department of Defense. And the reason it's kind of important and useful for regulated data, whether it's medical, financial, or consumer, it allows us to create a secure enclave inside a compute environment, such as a data warehouse, to make sure that only authorized and authenticated software programs can access protected data. And we're going to explain both Zero Trust and show you a quick demo of Zero Trust data warehouse in action. Now, the question you might ask is, Snowflake has a complete tool set. Do you really need Zero Trust data? In fact, Snowflake even has Zero Trust architecture. Concepts like least privilege and lateral movement are all built into Snowflake. So why do we really need Zero Trust data for regulated data? Well, when you get into regulated industries, one of the things regulators look for is basically organizational separation. So when you're operating in a cloud, they basically want either a separate organization or, more importantly, separate software than the cloud platform itself to validate that everything is going as planned. So we're looking for three things. One, are the policies implemented in Snowflake being implemented properly? Two, is there logs separate from the logs being generated by Snowflake? And three, are we able to stop cyber attacks like data exfiltration so that all of the sensitive data, if it's breached, is either the attack is stopped or the stolen data is of no value? So what we're going to do is show you a quick demo of all of these three things in action. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the term Zero Trust data, it's probably worth spending a minute to talk about the background. So last November 2022, a year ago, the Department of Defense did their major announcement of the Zero Trust architecture, their kind of update, and they introduced a new Zero Trust feature set called Zero Trust data that basically enables data to move from one network to another network securely. And one of the features of Zero Trust data is it uses random numbers as the database index. Now, why this is important is this allows us to basically store encrypted data without the system itself leaking any information to what it is. And we find this is really quite valuable when we are putting regulated or sensitive data into a warehouse like Snowflake. This means that as we move Zero Trust data in, there's no way for the system itself to figure out what it is, except if it needs to know. And we're going to see that in a quick demo right now. All right, let's start our little demo here. And we're starting it outside the Snowflake environment in AWS, where we've taken a CSV file, just very simple, name, address of could be a medical patient, could be financial client, could be consumer data that you've collected through your credit card system. And basically the XQ agent has not only encrypted everything, it might be a little hard to see, but at the end of every field there's a label, which is, as you remember, a part of Zero Trust data. So now here in the Snowflake environment, we've written a little program that basically grabs that data, and you can see that it's the original format. It's got the everything is encrypted, the name, address, phone number, and we see the label there. And there's one label per customer or medical client. And this is very important because we want to be able to do per customer or per patient enforcement of our access policies. And this will now allow us, now that it's in Snowflake, to run Snowpark. And within Snowpark, which is the compute environment within Snowflake, we can now run our Zero Trust agent. So what we've done here now is we've opened up terminal window so you can actually see the code. Now in real life, you wouldn't be staring at the code, but as a part of the demo, it allows you to see what's going on. So we have put together a Python based zero trust data program that will basically unlock the encrypted data. And in this case, we're making the demo very simple. We are just using a pin or a number to basically show it's authorized. Now, in a commercial deployment, based on the customer, you can make it far more complex. Instead of just using a number-based authentication or MFA token, you can use geofencing, which is, is your snowpark environment in the United States or not, if you want, or is it in Europe or not, if you want to do enforcement of geofencing or sovereignty. You can also make it organizational. And then the other thing here is, in our simple demo, we're just reading encrypted text. You could do both. You could unlock it, process it, and then push it back. But we're just keeping it simple. All right, let's run our little Python program. And as you see, it's asking for a numbered password. And again, this can be changed based on your application. We could do encrypted tokens. You can do a handshake, a lot of options. And now it's decoding the protected data, which, as you remember, we encrypted in AWS outside of the Snowflake environment. And below, you can actually see the Snowflake data itself. It's still there. It hasn't changed. So one of the great things we can see is how we can use Snowpark to basically implement policy-based access to data, otherwise known as zero trust data. And finally, a quick look at back at the AWS environment where the zero trust data policy server was running. And it, of course, logs everything in terms of the event. So the nice thing is you get an external log of all your events. So a quick review. If you are a Snowflake user and you have either regulated or sensitive data and you want to make sure it doesn't leak out of the system by accident, or if somebody steals it, it's of no value, you can use a zero trust data architecture. Zero trust data is a concept created by the Department of Defense where everything is encrypted and the indexes are random numbers so that there's no way anybody can figure out what it is. So you basically can run a zero trust data agent, a Python agent in Snowpark, as we saw, and it works perfectly well. And all of the events are logged in terms of what software program accessed it, what did they see, and when did it happen. If you're interested in learning more, contact XQMessage and we will provide you a full detailed briefing at no obligation. Thank you for your time and talk to you soon.